In the early days of space exploration, scientists and astronomers from NASA and other space agencies around the world were fascinated by the possibility of discovering new worlds and new forms of life beyond our planet. They sent probes, rovers, and manned missions to explore the depths of our solar system and beyond, searching for signs of life, resources, and any other mysteries that lay waiting to be uncovered. One of the most intriguing areas of interest was Jupiter's Lagrange points, L4 and L5, which had been the subject of much study and speculation for decades. In the spring of 2036, a mission was launched to scan these points using a constellation of radio telescopes. The mission's goal was to survey the orbital space that most objects in the solar system follow, from one side to the other, in search of any unusual emissions or signals. Months passed without any significant findings until the project's lead scientists detected a strange emission coming from the Trojan asteroids located in Jupiter's L4 point. They quickly determined that the emission was that of tritium, an extremely rare isotope that is mainly produced as a byproduct of nuclear power plants. The implications of this discovery were enormous. If the data was correct, then they had detected hundreds, possibly thousands of tons of tritium in the Trojan asteroids. The scientists were left with a puzzle to solve. How could such a significant amount of tritium be present in the asteroids? They speculated about possible explanations, from a previously unknown phenomenon to extraterrestrial life. As the news of the discovery spread, space agencies around the world mobilized their resources and expertise to investigate the source of the tritium emission. They collaborated across various scientific disciplines, analyzing data from multiple sources and conducting extensive research. As the news of the discovery of an unusual tritium emission in Jupiter's Trojan asteroids spread like wildfire among the scientific community, NASA and other space agencies scrambled to investigate the source of the emission. After months of planning, a probe was launched to scan the area where the emission was detected. The probe was equipped with the latest technology to capture high-resolution images and gather data that could help scientists understand the source of the tritium emission. As the probe approached the location of the emission, everything seemed to be going according to plan. Scientists eagerly awaited the first images and data that the probe would send back. Slowly, it was revealed that the source of the tritium emission was what appeared to be an artificial megastructure that had been orbiting Jupiter for thousands of years. But then, the probe's signal was lost. Attempts to establish contact with the probe proved futile. It was as if the probe had vanished. Scientists were left scratching their heads, trying to make sense of what had happened. Some suggested that the probe might have collided with a debris field, while others believed that there was something more sinister at play. Rumors began to circulate about the possibility of the probe encountering an existing extraterrestrial presence, or worse, some kind of hostile alien AI technology. As NASA and other space agencies tried to make sense of what had happened, they faced mounting pressure from the public and the media to provide answers. But for now, the mystery of the lost probe only added to the intrigue and speculation surrounding the ancient alien megastructure that had been discovered in the depths of space. The debris field was initially considered a possibility because of the scattered and disorganized nature of the objects detected by the probe's sensors. The data showed a collection of various-sized objects in a wide area surrounding the central structure, some of which appeared to be moving at high speeds. Some scientists hypothesized that the objects could be debris from a catastrophic event that occurred in the past, such as a collision between two celestial bodies. However, as they continued to analyze the data, they realized that the objects were too diverse in size and composition to have been generated by a single event. This led them to consider the possibility that the objects were intentionally placed around the structure for some purpose. As they delved deeper into the analysis, the scientists discovered that some of the objects were emitting low-level radio waves and other forms of radiation. This indicated that the objects were not just random debris, but had been deliberately placed and was possibly part of a larger system. As the team analyzed the data from the lost probe, they discovered that the debris field was not simply a collection of rocks and debris, but but rather a sophisticated defense mechanism put in place by the alien architects to protect their ancient megastructure. The team of scientists and engineers worked tirelessly to come up with a plan to bypass the defenses and send another probe to gather more information. They knew they had to be careful not to trigger any more of the automated defenses that may be lurking in the debris field. After months of intense planning and simulation, a new probe was designed and equipped with advanced sensors and communication equipment to withstand any potential threats. The probe was launched with bated breath as the team watched and waited anxiously for any signs of trouble. The probe approached the debris field and managed to dodge several small rocks and asteroids that had been programmed to act as sentries. As it got closer to the megastructure, the team's excitement grew as they received new data and images of the alien architecture. But just as they were about to make their most significant discovery yet, the probe suddenly went offline, and all contact was lost. The team was devastated but knew they had to keep pushing forward. They continued analyzing the data they had gathered and discovered something even more astonishing. The team realized that the tritium emission they had detected was not just a byproduct of the alien technology, but rather a key element in its power source. They hypothesized that the ancient alien civilization had discovered a way to harness the immense power of the tritium atom, providing them with a nearly limitless source of energy. The team of scientists and engineers now faced the daunting task of decoding the alien technology, trying to understand the secrets of the ancient megastructure and unlocking the potential of the tritium atom. But with each discovery, they realized that they were just scratching the surface of a civilization that had evolved beyond anything they could have ever imagined. The images from the probe were astounding. A monolithic pyramid was the most striking feature. It seemed to have been carved out of a single piece of an asteroid or planet, and its smooth sides glistened in the sunlight. But what caught the attention of the scientists was the veins of solid gold that snaked through the structure for miles. The gold veins were not just a curiosity, they suggested that the structure was of immense value. As the scientists studied the images, they noticed that the pyramid was surrounded by a field of debris, confirming their suspicions that the initial strange emission was indeed coming from this structure. The debris was a mixture of metals and minerals that were unfamiliar to the scientists, and they hypothesized that it could be the result of some sort of mining operation or industrial process. Despite the loss of contact with the probe, the images it captured opened up an entirely new realm of possibilities for space exploration. The discovery of an ancient, alien megastructure in our solar system was a game-changer, and the world waited with bated breath for the next steps in the investigation. As the probe closed in on the pyramid, its high-resolution cameras captured stunning images of the structure's surface. The pyramid's once smooth surface was pockmarked with thousands of craters of various sizes, suggesting that it had been hit by a hail of asteroids from all directions. The mission team was shocked by the extent of the damage. It was unclear whether the damage was the result of a single catastrophic event or had accumulated over a long period. Upon closer examination, the probe's sensors detected tiny fragments of various minerals and elements that were not present on the pyramid's surface. The fragments appeared to have come from asteroids that had collided with the pyramid and embedded themselves in its surface. The team analyzed the data and came to a startling conclusion. The pyramid had been bombarded by asteroids for millions of years, suggesting that it had been in space for an extremely long time. The team also noticed that the veins of gold snaking through the pyramid's surface appeared to have been partially exposed by the impacts, suggesting that the gold was present throughout the entire structure. This raised new questions about the pyramid's origin and purpose. Was it a natural object that had been mined for its valuable resources? Or was it an artificial structure built by an advanced civilization capable of constructing such a massive object? The discovery of the pyramid and the mystery surrounding its origin and purpose captivated the public's imagination and fueled speculation about the existence of extraterrestrial life and the possibility of ancient alien civilizations. Despite the significant damage visible on the pyramid structure, the data and images transmitted by the probe were still inconclusive. The debris field surrounding the structure made it difficult for the probe to navigate, and the limited communication capabilities due to light lag meant that there was a significant delay in receiving any information or instructions from Earth. As the team of scientists and engineers continued to analyze the data, they began to realize that a manned mission might be necessary to fully understand the nature of the pyramid and the debris field surrounding it. The limitations of the probe's capabilities and the slow pace of data transmission were hindering progress, and a human presence on the site could allow for more comprehensive exploration and investigation. The idea of sending a manned mission to Jupiter's Lagrange points had been discussed before, but it had always been considered too risky due to the harsh conditions and extreme distances involved. However, with the discovery of the pyramid and the tantalizing possibility of finding evidence of intelligent extraterrestrial life, the stakes had never been higher. A proposal was drafted, outlining the necessary funding, equipment, and personnel needed to launch a manned mission to the pyramid structure. The proposal was met with both excitement and apprehension, with some experts warning of the potential dangers involved and others arguing that the potential rewards were too great to ignore. Ultimately, the decision was made to move forward with the mission, and preparations began in earnest. A team of highly trained astronauts and scientists were assembled, and a spacecraft was designed and built specifically for the task. As NASA and other space agencies were considering a manned mission to the alien megastructure, they realized that they needed someone with expertise in underwater exploration. The debris field surrounding the monolithic pyramid was too dangerous for probes to navigate, and they needed someone who could help them understand the structure's history and what they might find inside. That's where Jack Collins came in. Jack was a skilled wreck diver who had made a name for himself exploring some of the deepest and most dangerous wrecks in the world's oceans. He was fearless and experienced, with an eye for detail and an ability to think on his feet. When NASA contacted him, Jack was skeptical at first. He had never worked in space before, and the idea of exploring an alien structure seemed far-fetched. But as he learned more about the mission and the potential discoveries that lay ahead, he couldn't resist the challenge. Soon, Jack was on board the spacecraft, training alongside the astronauts and learning about the technology that would allow them to navigate the debris field and explore the monolithic pyramid. He was excited but also nervous. He knew that the dangers they faced were unlike anything he had ever encountered before. As Jack sat in the briefing room with the NASA team, his nerves were palpable. His experience as a wreck diver had landed him a spot on the mission, but he couldn't help feeling a sense of unease. As they discussed the risks and challenges of exploring the ancient pyramid, Jack's mind began to wander back to a time when he had faced a similar feeling of dread. It was a few years ago when he had decided to explore sunken safe alone. As he descended deeper into the murky depths, he could feel his heart pounding in his chest. But he pushed on, determined to uncover whatever treasures lay within. Suddenly, the safe shifted and Jack found himself trapped, the metal door pressing against his chest. Panic set in as he struggled to find a way out. He was alone, with no one to hear his cries for help. For what felt like an eternity, Jack struggled to find a way out. He tried to calm his racing thoughts and slow his breathing, but the darkness and silence seemed to be closing in on him. He could feel a presence in with him alone in that void. Just as he was about to give up hope, he felt a sharp pinch on his toe. Startled, he realized it was a small crab, who had found its way into the safe through a small gap in the bottom. With a newfound sense of urgency, Jack dislocated his shoulder and used all his strength to pry the door open. Gasping for air, he emerged from the safe, shaken but alive. That experience had left an indelible mark on Jack, and as he prepared for the mission to explore the pyramid, he couldn't help but feel that same sense of dread creeping in. But he knew that he couldn't let fear hold him back. He was determined to uncover the secrets of the ancient pyramid, no matter the cost. As they prepared to embark on this historic mission, Jack wondered what they would find inside the pyramid. Would it be a treasure trove of alien technology and knowledge, or a dark and dangerous mystery that humanity was not yet ready to unravel? Only time would tell. When Jack looked up at the night sky, he couldn't help but feel that familiar haunting presence looking down at him. End of part 1.